If you're a regular on the channel, you'll know that I started a group of videos called the Land Rover Project, which was a series showing the work that I carried out on the Land Rover Discovery. Now that it's got an MOT, we've been able to get out on a few trips, get out and explore a little bit in it and enjoy the Land Rover. But, as with everything, it's not finished. So, the Land Rover Project continues. So as you might be able to tell, I've got a few things to fit to the Land Rover. I recently sold my DSLR. Yes, the footage is going to suffer a little bit. I'm hoping it's not too much, but the reason I sold it was because I barely used it. I literally only used it for in the garage shots and things like that. I didn't take it out with me anywhere. I never went on walks with it. It was just too big and bulky to carry around, so I'm now using my little point and shoot camera. I actually have two of these. Just a little simple Canon IXUS 220 HS. Simple little point and shoot camera. Does a good enough job. It records in 1080 and at 25 frames a second, I think it is. Pretty much the same as my DSLR. The reason I sold the other one was because it only did 30 frames a second, I think it was, or 25 frames a second at 1080, nothing more. Couldn't record in slow motion, anything like that. The only good thing about it was I could put an external microphone and different lenses on it, and I could film manually. The plan is to use this camera, get better content and improve the channel a bit more that way, and then hopefully when I reach 1,000 subscribers I'm going to invest in a Canon G7X Mark II. Again, the audio, you can't attach an external microphone to one of them, but you can film everything manually, and it is still small enough to carry around with you everywhere, so hopefully the footage that I get should still be quite good, and there's other ways that I can improve the audio. So anyway, enough of that. This is the Land Rover Project continued. I have sold my DSLR, like I said before, and the money that I've got from it I have used to invest in stuff for the Land Rover. So as you can see, I took a trip to the Rattlex Industries headquarters the other day, and I purchased a steering guard. The plan is to cut the front bumper and fit the steering guard. I've also got a set of the Rattlex dislocation cones. If you've seen my shock dropper video, you'll know that we've got some extra flex on the rear of the car, but with that comes problems of the spring dislocating, and you need these for it to go back into the right position. Also, I have got a direct 4x4 awning. The last trip that we did in the roof tent, we found that if the weather was pretty bad, then we'd have nowhere to sit and keep out the rain, so we needed an awning. Yes, a 270-degree awning would be beneficial, but the price of them, it was just out of our budget, so we've gone with a simple pull-out, a 2.5 metre pull-out, and I've yet to fit that to the car. Weather and work and all that kind of stuff. So the look of the Land Rover is going to change a little bit. We have got, like I say, the steering guard here. This is a really, really heavy duty super steering guard. I mean, it's really, really thick. The brackets have the towing eyes, so one of the things that I worried about with taking the bull bar off the front was I lost the front recovery eyelets. I didn't have any other way of recovering the vehicle from the front. This will fix that until I can afford to buy a winch bumper. I've already got the winch bumper that I want saved. I know which one I'm getting. It's just funds. I am slowly saving up, so that will come soon. Over here we've got the front caster arms. These will correct the issues that I've got with the shocks. You may or may not already know that I've had a few issues with the shocks leaning inside the turrets and rubbing. That is due to the caster correction. With lifting the vehicle, the axle is sat a little bit wonky. Could also help with the vibrations fitting these. So we've got these, and I've also got poly bushes all around. Also, my brakes are really crap. I before we went on our caravan trip, I stripped the front down and had a look at the brakes because I was a bit concerned about how bad they were, and I found that one caliper on the driver's side, 2 of the pistons had seized. So I tried to free them off as best I could, but yeah, they need rebuilding. So I have got a kit here. I've got a caliper rebuild kit, and I've got 8 new pistons. So I'm going to do both sides and rebuild the calipers. I've never done them before, so it should be quite an interesting couple of videos anyway. Also got terra firma performance front pads and drilled and grooved front discs, so that should fix that. And then there's also a whole load of work that's going to be done on the engine. I'm going to tune it using a boost pin. I already have the boost pin from 4x4, and I'm also going to fit an oil catch can. I'll show you all that though in the video. What else is there? General servicing, rocker cover gaskets, valve clearances. There's lots to come. So yeah, the Land Rover project continues. One of the main things that I have got to do though is the gearbox. Over here we've got a replacement gearbox. This is a second-hand unit. I actually went all the way to Liverpool to buy this. We took a trip down with the family, purchased it off a guy. It was quite an unusual purchase as well from Facebook Marketplace. I'd messaged the guy a couple of times about it. Was it Facebook? Yeah, I think it was Facebook. Anyway, I'd messaged the guy, and when I got there, he seemed to not know what was going on. I said, I've come about the gearbox, and he was like, which gearbox? I was like, oh God, here we go. So that was quite an unusual experience. I've bought and sold quite a lot of things online, and I've never really had a problem. Yeah. Anyway, long story short, it was all right. It was just a bit weird. One of the issues with changing the gearbox, I'm going to do it myself on the drive. I recently did the transfer box, and it was a bugger to get in. It was really heavy. I had to make some ramps to go up on the cross member to drag it up and then waggle it around. Yeah, it was just a ball ache. So anyway, I've been racking my brains about how I'm going to do it, and I've come up with this idea. So I've got this. It's a bit unorthodox, but I think it could work. So what this is a motorcycle jack. The plan is to mount this on casters, and it's rated up to 1/2 ton. So put the gearbox on here, wheel it under the vehicle, and wind it up. It's the best thing that I could come up with. I haven't got a lift or any of them kind of things, but this hopefully should work. Plan is to wind it up to where it wants to be, and then with it being on casters, just wheel it into the position, bolt it up, Bob's your uncle. Yeah. So what do you think to that? Took me a bit of fathoming out how to do it, and I did a lot of research online. As with everything, I try and do it all myself, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. Anyway, that's the plan. With the steering guard, I do like it as it is, but the plan is to sand it down and paint it in truck bed liner, just because I don't want it to stand out too much, but I want it to look nice. And yeah, that's going to protect the vehicle underneath as well. Yeah, so that is the Land Rover project. We're going to start very soon, and hopefully you enjoy the videos. Any questions, comments, leave them down below, and thanks for watching. See you next time.